Hey everybody, this is Random Black Guy, and today on Tech Taylor, we're going to be going over the Fiio A3 and why I feel like this or other headphone amplifiers may be a perfect fit for you. I'm going to be going over my experience of the device and a little short review, and then I'm going to be hitting out a few points that I feel like will be the strongest reasons of why you may want to pick this up. So the Fiio A3 is a headphone amplifier. What that means is it provides power to the headphones to either give an amplified sound or to give more power to the headphones in case they're those type of headphones that don't get enough power from portable devices and play at a more fuller sound, whether it's increasing the bass or increasing the gains. The Fiio A3, in my experience, does a really good job of all that. And the Fiio A3 just has really just a simple body of makeup. It's really strong. I've unfortunately dropped it a few times. However, I really don't have any scratches on the device. The Fiio A3 works out really well. I haven't seen it lose any, get loose or anything. And there's just a few things I really liked about the device. Now, with the Fiio A3, unlike other devices that are cheaper than this, the Fiio A3 is high-res audio compatible, meaning that it can play those higher bitrate songs without bottlenecking it to the headphones, which is really good because you don't want to have high-res headphones and the right file types, but then you're still not getting the true sound because the amplifier is getting in the way of that. So this is supposed to be high-res compatible in that aspect. They are gold-plated in and outs, and everything else about like the dials and dongles, they're really strong. I don't have any problems with me putting it in my pocket and I don't accidentally hit the gains low or high, or that I accidentally turn on and off the bass. They're actually a really sturdy product, and I like holding it, like having it in my hand, and it's really small. The Fiio A3 has a 14 milliamp battery, so with that, according to the website, it's supposed to last about 16 hours. And from my experience, it actually does a pretty good job of holding up to that. I rarely find myself actually having to charge this device. My normal charge cycle will probably be about once a week, which I'm kind of glad for that, because the one bad thing I don't like about the product is the fact that it takes about 4 hours to completely charge this from 0 to 4. The only good thing about that is that with the Fiio A3, that you could still use it while it's charging. So if you were to use it for a laptop or anything stationary, it's good to know that by just plugging it up with a micro USB, that you're able to still continue using it. The Fiio A3 has just a few buttons on it to use, one for changing the gain from low to high, and the other one just to turn the bass on and off. Now, with my experience with these, the gains work really well. It's almost a night and day difference when you flip that switch on. In fact, I feel like it amplifies it a lot more than just it doing it by itself. Now, with the bass option is the one that feels a little bit more lackluster. I've only really found that it works really well for its headphones that already provides some bass, and songs like EDM, rap beat, or anything that has bass in it, like it's really apparent, to actually gain benefit from this. It's just really weird that like you need both of those for the bass to work, and the bass works very subtly. So it doesn't really work for a lot of other types of like the in-ear headphones that really can't do bass, or just for some songs, like it just doesn't magically add bass for bass is not a part of it. But I do feel like it should do better, at least on songs that have really heavy bass. I want it to have more of a hit noise, and sometimes it just adds like a tenth of a sound to it. Now you might say for $60 you think it'll work across the board. I've kind of looked at it like this: it's just there are some parts that you don't want to go overdrive, and some headphones already can only handle so much as they're amplified. So those were just my quick experience with the product, and a lot of stuff that I've seen with it that I feel like works out really well, and some things that I wish I could a little bit improve on. Now then, as amazing as this product is, we come to the question of, does it really fit you? Tech can be as amazing as it wants, but the value that it provides has to be some value for you. And if it doesn't provide that value, it's almost worthless. So talking about the Fiio A3, these are the few things that I feel like will probably be the best to resonate with you if you're looking for an amplifier and you're thinking about the Fiio A3 as being your choice, or if you're wondering even if a Fiio amplifier is good for you. Now, one good reason why I feel like the Fiio A3 would be a perfect fit for you is if you really love music and you really love music a lot. The Fiio A3 works with a wide variety of songs. Me personally, I like listening to EDM, rap, R&B, some instrumental. I listen to a lot of few things on a daily basis, but I've also tried this with country, I also tried it with classical, and a lot of other genres that I don't spend enough time on. But in my experience with all of them, the Fiio A3 does a good job of amplifying those songs without those songs really losing their unique traits. Next point I really want to make is the fact that they work really well with a lot of different headphones. So if you're a person who has bought headphones for particular sounds, the Fiio A3 does a really good job of really just giving those headphones more value and being able to amplify without being so harsh. The only times that I really feel like it doesn't do so well is with the earphones, because the earphones already get enough power from the device that you're using that any more power tends to kind of distort the sound universally. You just really can't amplify those headphones with more power than what they're going to be used to. You'll definitely find that like when you use it, you'll be turning down the volume on the cell phone or whatever device you're using and keeping this high just so you can keep the original quality of the song using the headphones. My second point that I do want to say why the Fiio A3 may be a perfect fit for you is if you own a pair of studio headphones. I own pairs like the v-modas, and I own pairs kind of like the Razors, the gaming headset, and also like the Beat Pros. Now the Razer headset doesn't really need any amplification too much, or it doesn't need too much power to provide what it's already. However, one with like the v-modas that they are closer to using less power to give that awesome sound, and the Beat Studios that really gain a benefit more from having a studio setup. The Fiio A3 makes up the power that these two normally lack to do their best. The v-moda does really well with bass, and it does well with a lot of good music, but it is exceptional when you add the power required. And even with the Beats, like these are normally the only Beats that I probably would ever buy versus the other ones that come out, and I feel like these work really well by themselves. But with the Fiio A3, I get a completely different experience with them. They actually feel like what someone would buy these headphones for. But not to say that these won't work for these headphones as well. I do normally use these for different games and everything. But if you are a person that just doesn't get enough power from the studio headphones, and you want to use the studio headphones outside the studio, you want them to sound the same, then the Fiio A3 is a good solution to that problem. The third point I do want to make about getting the Fiio A3 and why maybe getting an amplifier by itself may be a good idea is I feel that it adds more value to the headphones. I already mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I do want to put it in a better perspective. Say if you wanted to, these were like your main headphones, I got these about around $60 to $80. They're not bad. Then I can use them outside. I can use them for listening to music and stuff. Now, what if I want to go up to the v-modas, which are about a $250 headset? Now that's a pretty big price jump, and the fact that I still got to pay $250 to get a new headset is, that's a lot of money. That's not just buying something, that's investing in something. The Fiio A3 itself only costs $60. With that, I can try and make the headphones I already have sound a little bit better and give more life and value to the headset. Same thing when it comes to the Cat ones from Brookstone, that these headphones are really good as far as with the microphone and as far as even some of the sound that it uses. And of course, these headphones also have the speakers. And the Fiio A3 actually amplifies not just the sound coming from here, but it actually amplifies the speakers a little bit better. So that is something that adds a little bit more value to something like this. Again, that you can get between $60 to $100, and you're only paying another $60 to make these better versus paying, a lot of money for this. The only time that I see it might be different if you're getting headphones like these that are wireless. since of course a lot of times people get wireless headphones, they don't want to be tied to a cord, and with that there is absolutely no reason to get something like this if you're never going to be using it actually plugged in, but it is a good option. Now my fourth reason is really a quick reason why I feel like the Fiio A3 will work in other situations than music, is when you're watching movies or maybe playing games. Now if you're on the airplane, you know that there's a lot of noise in the cabin, and sometimes turning the volume all the way up in your cell phone still doesn't provide enough volume to cancel a lot of that out. With the Fiio A3, it adds that extra volume to help you kind of do that. And especially if you have noise canceling headphones, some are active, some are passive, you know, some don't work as well as they're advertised. However, with this, a little bit of power doesn't matter. You can drown all that sound out. And with video games, like if you have the new Switch, or maybe you use your headphones with the PS4 or Xbox, or if you game on the computer, headphones like these, you'll add a lot more power to enjoy those games a little bit more. In some cases like this, where you want to pick up more extra sounds that might be in the background, it does a pretty good job of kind of bringing out those little pin drops a little bit better. Now the very last point I do want to say is that one that only works for the Fiio A3 itself is the fact the high-res audio, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. Now, these headphones here aren't high-res audio compatible. The only one that's closest is the v-moda, but they're off by 10,000 in their frequency. Now, there are a lot of headphones that you can get that are high-res audio, and getting some songs like getting the FLAC or anything, or songs in higher bitrate, aren't really that hard to kind of go get and come by. However, you definitely don't want your headphone amplifier to bottleneck it. So I feel like particularly one of the reasons why you get this will probably because it does help high-res audio. And that might not be the strongest reason overall, but it is something unique to the device. Now, those were really my quick ways, or my more relatable reasons of why I feel like the Fiio A3 may be a perfect fit for you. And at least if you identify with two of them, that even for the $60, I am confident that it is worth you actually trying out. Now, I am not doing this as a promotion for anything, but as a person who has taken pretty much a leap on this product itself. I didn't know how well it would work. I didn't really have too many people who own the device itself to really say it is, but I decided I'll try it out and I'll see how it works with the setups that I have. And I got about like 10 headphones I got to try it out with. And overall, the reason why I kept it so long is because I've almost used it every single day. And I'm glad I did keep it. And of course, that is my experiences. And I hope that if you do take a leap on it, that they help you in your experience or any reason why you want to do it. There's a lot more reasons why it will probably be good for you, but hopefully the ones that I listed today already gets you that a little bit interested and taking a leap and making your audio better. Everybody, thank you for watching today's video. If you liked it and you would love to share it, please do that. Go ahead, hit the like button and share it with your friends. If you want to hear more content about other tech that may be a perfect fit for you, please hit the subscribe button down below. And I love to read your comments, so go ahead and type away. With that, hopefully that today's video provided you with enough information to make a better, more informed decision for tomorrow. And with that, see you next time.